how you make your horse sit down on command.
Well,
Just start at the easy stuff.
we'll get to that. We'll do some of his tricks in the end. But I thought what I could do is, you guys have showmanship, right? You all compete in showmanship,
Yes, it's a mandatory.
right?
Sounds
Okay. Yes.
How do you
So, what's that?
how do you get your horse to square up with all feet?
All 4 feet?
Yeah.
We'll work on that. What else in showmanship do you guys
What's
maybe
your
have
hard
trouble
ones?
with?
Haunch
Yep.
turn.
Haunch turn.
Haunch turns. Anything else? What do you guys have? You
How
have
about backing straight?
Oh, that's
Oh.
backing straight. I can give you a few tips on how to work on teaching our horses to back straight.
Getting them to trot when you
Yeah.
try to leave the line of other horses.
Instant trot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll work on that, and some of the things that I do with PJ, it's really working on the relationship between you and your horse, and my relationship with him. He tries really hard, and horses want to do what we want them to do. They just have to have a clear message. They have to understand what we're asking them. So we have to remember, horses work off of pressure and release. Whether you're on the ground or in the saddle, they're searching for where the pressure will be relieved, so that they know they're doing what we want them to do. So there, when I asked him to walk, you notice I took a step to the right. That's in front of his shoulder, which is, the shoulder's kind of like your drive line. So if you want him to slow down, step in front of the shoulder. You want him to walk on, your energy toward their hip. You want to give them a little bit more leeway, especially with a rope halter, the weight is used in the line. So if you're taking a horse along and you want them to stop, instead of holding up here on them, all you need to do is send a little energy down the line. The weight of the line goes down and gets them on the nose. So you can just say, hey, not quite so far. Okay, go ahead and continue on.
Should I still feel confident?
Sure. Go do the pattern like you own it. Trot, go, look where you're going. Keep trotting. Okay, so now,
Oops.
so that's okay. Here, this is perfect. So now what I'm going to teach you guys, we're going to dissect this a little bit. Let me take him for a minute. Okay, so you wanted him, ideally you wanted to trot your circle, right, and stop with what? With him straight? Okay, so there's a move called bump up where I'm going to bump him up, and what it signals is for his hindquarters, his right hind to cross over his left, and him to bring his butt to me. Your butt. What end am I speaking to? That's a very hard move for horses to do, to move laterally toward you. And some horses, he was a stallion for a long time, and so you have to be careful because once you laterally move them toward you, it's almost like they get to posture toward you, so they're moving, they come into your space, which we like to teach horses to say, out of our bubble, right? We can come into their space, but they don't need to be coming in and kind of nudging on us without us inviting them into our space. So, you want to work first on moving them away from you. Then you can work on moving them toward you. And I'll start by using this wall up here. This is the same way you guys are going to use a wall to teach your horses how to trot. So I'm going to face the wall, and I'm going to ask him to move away from me. Then you give them a break, reward them. Then you could go somewhere without a wall. So it's energy. He feels my energy saying, I'm supposed to be moving over. Good boy. And walk forward. Good boy. And I'm going to use the bump up toward his eye. I'm going to relieve pressure. far as you want to take it with your horses. These moves, these are the foundational moves that lead to bigger, funner tricks and stuff like that. So now I use the wall like I did moving away. Now I'm going to leave the wall and do it without the wall. Good boy. Try and do it well now. Okay. It was better. So what you're going to do is I want you to lift your right hand toward his right eye and buff up, and you're going to ask his hindquarters are going to come toward you. Don't back your feet up. Don't back your feet up. Just use your hand toward his eye. Straight up. Yep, keep bumping up. Don't let him go forward. Straight up till he comes. He'll come. Yeah. Now, so the moment that you took a step in the right direction, you needed to release your hand a little. Remember I talked about pressure and release? So that gives him a moment of, oh, that's the right thing, and then you can ask again. So he just didn't quite get that release. So ask him again so he can come be parallel with you again. Straight up. Hind quarter. Yeah. There. So when we're teaching a horse to square up, we want to back them until they're square. There. I'm asking for his left front. There. You should almost grab a horse who doesn't know how to do it. There we go. So it's just a matter of every single time you stop your horse, stop him square. Practice, practice, practice. Horses need a ton of that. So then I can walk around again, just walk him out of the square stance. Oh. Back him into the square, then ask his front to come forward. Now, the other thing is they need to know when you set up for your judge to come inspect, right, your horse should stand still. It shouldn't be walking all around. So this is another thing that you practice. You get them square, you give them the line, and you should be able to walk all around your horse without them moving. Practice time, practice time. Tell them ho, they need to stand where you put them.
Good boy. Good boy.
And there you have it. Now the sit from the top is harder on their hocks and their stifles, and he's getting a little bit older. He's on joint supplements and stuff, so that is a very hard move. He can do it, but I haven't been doing it enough with him to really ask him to sit, and he's kind of in a little bit of a mood, and so I don't want to make him sore or anything. So anyway, there you have it. You can